Welcome back, everyone. This is Where is Boar showing Elden Ring. I would say playing, but this is actually a voiceover. It's actually the first one I've done. So recently, uh, I uploaded a couple of videos of Elden Ring. Really my first time playing it. Obviously, it's just released. But also, one thing too is I just wanted to be able to play the game also off recording without feeling like I'm leaving you guys behind. So, and one thing I remember is, can you beat the very first boss called the Grafted Scion? It turns out that you can, but this is the journey on what happened. So, anyways, after this little cutscene here, we'll go ahead and jump right in. I did get pretty familiar with this cutscene and as well as the intro because this took me almost 70 tries. But yeah, uh, as we can see here, this is a whole bunch of series of the deaths I had. Uh, this one right here was just me looking at my phone and looking off the edge. Now, you may also be wondering, why the different classes? No, I did not get desperate and just started trying different classes to see if I can cheese the boss or anything. No, my intent was to beat the boss fully, but at the same time, I was using a randomizer to pick what class to play. Because honestly, if it's up to me, I would never use a shield. I would also probably never use a pull or any magic. But this is a way for me to get familiar with the control, because I have decided to make a goal to not do that. But that part right there was me just derping. I decided to roll back too much. So I ended up restarting the game. Because, I mean, once you get close to 70 attempts, you start thinking of ways to... can I make this process easier, more efficient, right? Now, I'm an engineer, and that's what I started doing. So I figured, well, if you leave the game before, right, before you die or anything, it actually spawned right at the beginning. And this is what happened there, is that I fell off the edge, but before the death actually kicked in, I closed the game, opened it up, and I started at the beginning of the boss again. So, this was basically a second attempt on character number, I think 64 at the time. Which I didn't do too much better anyways, so didn't really matter. Then I did again just to try to see, except my brain, after restarting so many times, decided to click on new game. And apparently I have no way of actually exiting. I tried with a on keyboard and mouse to try to hit that B button. Usually you right click and brings up the menu. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I ended up having to play as the two-handed class. We'll jump right in. Nothing too special. Standard start. In fact, this part right here is really just to show what happened on this attempt, which nothing eventful happened, which is why it's so sped up. But this is, I think, character like 65 or 66 or whatever. And this is my first time picking the character, so I actually didn't know how to use the dual slash. But yeah, so to give an idea on what the randomizer looks like, that was it. Right. So this brings me to the next attempt. And this next attempt was, to say the least, pretty peculiar. So remember how I quit, right? After that last death? Well, it spawned me in right outside of the wall of fog, and I ended up at the cutscene, right? So I searched it up, and I saw on YouTube that, hey, there was a glitch that actually involved what I did, but people were saying it was fixed at the time. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I mean, I really want to clear the boss, clearly. On the next attempt, I got the bandit, I think it is what they're called. Now, I didn't really use the shield at the time, so that's just me digging around, getting familiar with the what to do with their weapon arts. But needless to say, this was a pretty bad run. This was by far the shortest weapon I've had on all my attempts. And the attempts I had with the bandit before weren't even any better. Primarily because brain fart, I get distracted with the phone, I'm just really bad at the game. Enter any number of reasons. But I'm just unfamiliar with how short the blade is compared to some of the other classes, right? And their starting weapons. So that attempt went pretty badly. And then I got this guy again. And this is actually a really good attempt. I actually decided to practice the character a little bit before entering the boss. I guess the more I die, the more brain I end up getting. I think though it's just experience and knowledge. But yeah, I got somewhat familiar with the swings, the range right there. Go ahead and jump right into the boss. I thought I was just playing right there, so that made me scared because I thought I actually just yeeted myself right off. But let's go ahead and take a look at what happened on this fight. So I started with the dual swing, which on mouse keyboard is right click. Right. I kept my distance at a pretty good range, being able to dodge in and out. I kept an eye on my stamina bar just because dual wielding does use more stamina, but make sure I have enough for 2, maybe 3 rolls if needed. One thing to note is that after so many attempts, there's one of 2 positions, and it's the same with the Tree Sentinel. I spent 3 hours fighting Tree Sentinel, so I also got familiar with this. That if you stay on the shield arm and behind the boss, that's your best attempt. So if you're looking for hits on someone or whatever, that's my idea. That's my suggestion. So this is a stance I've only seen 3 or 4 times, and usually is at the very end. This is a very peculiar that I haven't learned how to dodge yet, but if you watch, it's 2 different angles of strikes at the same time. My theory on that is that if you stay on the shield side, that's probably your best bet to dodge. Just because that back arm is swinging a bit further out. If you're rolling towards the basically right side of the boss, your left side facing the boss, you will most likely get hit consistently if you can't stay out of range. So on this one, after that attempt, I was feeling pretty good, right? I mean, I did really good on the first attempt of actually after trying out the dual wielding and how the actual swings work. The boss got to about half, right? We're actually right above the second phase, which, if you didn't know, the boss does have 2 phases. So I actually decided to customize my character, which is what we're looking here. Right? And because I feel like this was such a big brain strat, there it is. Big brain. So, in a bit, we'll go ahead and enter right into the boss. Alright, we're in. I was actually playing games on my phone at the time, so there's a slight little delay before I actually jumped in. I actually edited, I think, like 4 minutes out, too. So you guys didn't have to watch all of it. I also, on all my attempts, I never read that message. And when I first started, there were a bunch of humorous message, so I was like, I wonder if this is anything funny. It wasn't. It was an actual gameplay message. How dare there be gameplay message? But anyways, let's take a look at what happened on this attempt here. Alright, so standard start, enter the boss. Boss landed, and I went in, just the way that I did the run before. Definitely though, not as good. Primarily just because my positioning was a little bit awkward. And as you see here, I was really close to the boss, just because I wanted to stay within range for after he does an attack that I can swing. That ended up leaving an issue just because my positioning. But I ended up quitting right before the actual death effect kicked in, right? Just because, I mean, as we saw before, is that if I left right when I fell, I was able to live. Just spawns me at the beginning. And I want to see if this is any faster. Well, as you see in the top left corner there, I have 0 HP. And turns out that that quick research that I did was actually false. The cheese is still in fact here. In fact, to the point where I didn't really try just because I didn't need to, right? I started rolling just because I kept on getting staggered and knocked back, and I figured that I probably should try to roll because I really want to find out what happened if you the Grafted Scion. Even though this, in my opinion, it's not a official attempt because I actually didn't clear it. But yeah, he is pretty mobile. And this is the stance there. So take a look. 2 different angles, like I said. Ending with a lunge. And if you guys are curious, he actually did go into second phase. He just puts magic on his blade. He doesn't change his attacks or anything. But yeah, you get 2 items for clearing the boss. A sword and his shield. And anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I may think of actually doing a official Grafted Scion, but I just want to show that what happened on my attempt. But yeah, guys, feel free to hit the subscribe and the like button. And as always, I hope you guys have or had a wonderful day. Thank you.